So, um, yeah. KEV is getting this cream. People always say, what the hell does that mean? All right, we're back. It's your boy Carcito here, man. And last time Stephen A. Smith made his appearance on the on that show, what is it called? Somebody's Arena. Last time he was on that show, he came in there looking like Nino Brown. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So he came in there looking like that with the chain, the shirt buttoned all the way up his neck, trying to go in on LeBron James using his friend's platform. They were so stupid, they didn't realize they were being used. Now, because all they look at is views, right? And he got what he wanted out of it. See, what Stephen A. seems to do that everybody don't seem to understand is that he will take what he needs to get from people. He doesn't want your friendship. He wants your compliance. And once he gets that compliance, you are now going to be compromised in said situations. If you had friendships or allegiances out there, it's going to be now determined and looked at in a different way, an entirely different light. Now, with that being said, is he wrong about the things that he said about LeBron Ramon James? Is he wrong about the approach he took to LeBron Ramon James? These are the things that need to be explored. But it's what we've all known and all been telling you from the jump. But now that somebody who has a bigger name, such as Stephen A. is saying it, now people get to see because of the platform he's on. See, we're too low brow for old Bronny, right? Meaning LeBron. You know, I used to call LeBron Bronny before Bronny James became a thing. I used to call him Bronny Boy. So a lot of people thought I was disrespectful. But no, it had nothing to do with. Now, we're going to get to the grease on this because this needs to be said. You know, Stephen A. has made a living off of talking down to black athletes. No matter how much he tries to sugarcoat it and form it to what he wants it to be, that's how he made his bones. Condemning black athletes, coming down on them at all costs, no matter what. Now, from Allen Iverson, I don't know who told you you were Allen Iverson's father. You're not. Okay, you were never the voice to Kobe Bryant. All of these players trusted you, and you proved to be something that they couldn't trust, if that's saying it correctly. You proved to be someone that they seem to be dishonest and do things for clicks and views. That's only. Now, here's where the problem grows. As I keep trying to get everyone to see the actual truth and to the bars of the statements that are being implied. Stephen A. Smith made a history of following a formula and using this formula ever since he was fired. He stopped sticking up for black folks because he knew those black folks couldn't protect him and do nothing for him. They weren't in position to do that. So he came back because of Skip Bayless and he told the line. and he never was going to get out of line again. Oh, no, he learned this lesson. He stayed right in line. And when the Ray Rice incident happened, when he tried to be black again, they came and spanked him on the hand, and he said, "Oh, it was all my fault, sir. Oh, I never would do that again, sir. Oh, it was all me." Now that all those people that was suspended him are now gone, now he's got power. Now he's talking about how wrong it was for him to be suspended. But you was on TMZ saying it was your fault. Oh, it was all my fault. I did something stupid. I said something really dumb. But I know what you don't. He came on that show to talk about LeBron, to say, I'm not going to talk about LeBron James anymore. I don't want nothing to do with him. Only to talk about LeBron James and have something to do with him 5 minutes later. Only to talk about him for about another 10 to 15 more minutes, saying how he don't want to talk about it. Typical Stephen A. Smith. Now, while going through this process, Stephen A. Smith is sitting there like a little kid, a little boy, like a father, actually, talking to a bunch of nitwits. That's how he looked like. I'm talking to a bunch of fools. I could tell them the moon landing was because of me, and they would believe it. And they sitting there too. As he comes on the show to talk down to another former athlete, right? Gilbert Arenas. And look at Gilbert sitting there like a shriveled up old prune. Boy, that doggone Ozempic is a killer, ain't it? Look at him. Sitting there like a shriveled up old prune. Ooh, with his hands crossed in his lap, being chastised on his own show like a little boy. Because Stephen A. decided to pull up and play daddy to you. They didn't even question Stephen A. about anything. I don't even think they spoke. It was Stephen A. speaking to himself for an hour and 40-something minutes. It really was. They just sat there and let Stephen A. talk. And he talked about absolutely nothing. They had to edit that, so he probably talked for about 3 hours. That's what gets me with the little hand gestures and every conceptualize and bring it. And if you look at it, I'll be like, dude, what are you screwing? What knob is you turning? What door did you go in? Contextualize. Watch, he does it every time he talks. It's like, dude, what the hell are you doing? Oh my God. So anyway, enough of that part. Now, here's the thing that gets us. As Gil is being chastised about being involved in a Fed case where he has 3 counts against him for lying to the federal government, which I believe he's guilty of. Conspiracy to run a casino, which I believe he's guilty of. And actually running a casino. That's being part of the casino, which I think, in my opinion, that he's guilty of. Now, those are my opinions, based on the person that we are confronted. This good person here is a known manipulator, liar. So that's the avenue they choose to take. Now, as he was sitting there like a little boy who just, being scolded by his daddy, and, it was just, I felt bad for him because he didn't realize he's being used. And I'm like, man, they don't even realize they're being used. Damn, that's awful. That's got to be an awful feeling to be used and you don't even know it. I mean, he's going to get out of it. He's going to probably pay himself out of the situation he's in. But the guy he's just delusional and thinking like this is just a nothing case. But hey, that's his situation. He'll have to deal with it. But he's being used on his own show and he doesn't even realize it. And yeah, you let Stephen A come over to your house, post up, and start telling you what's what. That's like somebody is a guest in your house and they just take over your house and you allow it to happen. That's what was happening here. There you go with that hand gesture. So now the thing is, for them, it's good for their ratings and their numbers, so they do it. But they didn't have any control. If you go back and listen to this, you get to see what control really is. They basically gave control of their whole platform over to Stephen A. Smith. They said, Stephen A., and he used them. He used them to throw shots at LeBron again, drop hints of, oh, I know this, and because I know things he don't know, I know. Yeah, I know stuff he don't even know that I know that he did. And that's why I'm not going to speak to him again. How about this? He wasn't speaking to you again. He's not going to speak to you again. We know that. He ain't speaking to you. He don't care if you don't speak to him. You go speak about him because you got a job. Hey, man, you got a job, bro. Now, what did Stephen A. do here that was essential? Let's talk about what he was speaking about with LeBron. Y'all want to know. We have already told you here, though. We already know what they're saying. They already know what they said. And matter of fact, this is why they've been set up. Why do you think he only spoke about this here? Why didn't he speak about it on his show? Why didn't he go on the Stephen A. Smith show and say, hey, I got something to say. This is what's going on. No, he says it on your platform. Why would he give that to you? Why would he come by your house, go on your show, help your numbers, and say that on your show when you're facing a federal indictment and 3 charges by the federal government? He comes on your show and chastises you about it on your show and help build your numbers up. Why? Because he knows your relationship to Rich Paul and Clutch Sports and LeBron James. He knows those dudes have a glove up your ass and they can wiggle you like this. And you just gonna go, yeah, that tickles. That's what they gonna do with you, boy. And now it's gonna get even worse. And what is the worst part? Oh, you waiting on that shoe to drop? When they create that distrust for you to keep bringing on, when you keep bringing on people such as Stephen A. Smith on your show, okay, you could be friends with him all you want, but you is not going to be in this circle no more. Now, I'm sitting here watching all of the things that's going on, all of the fake isms that are going on. And what do you see mostly than anything you've ever noticed? Stephen A. Smith is a master manipulator. He lies. Oh, I don't affect players' contracts. I'll wait till they get their deal. Then I'll put out information. No, you don't. Kyrie Irving did not have his deal. And you were saying, if I was an NBA owner, I wouldn't even pay Kyrie Irving. That's what you said. That's what you said. You sat there and said that. That man didn't even have a deal. You was trying to put out the information to insinuate that man should not get paid. You did the same thing with Glenn Big Dog Robinson. You were getting involved in people's affairs when it wasn't called for. And you thought me going around saying what white people are thinking, but are afraid to say because they will get in trouble, I will be your voice. And they can't say nothing to me because I'm black. And they paid you $100 million for it. They said, all right, that's what we need. We got someone to say exactly what I want to say. And you've been that guy for years, acting like you're one of us. You're not one of us. Saying, I've hired more black people and gave them opportunities. Exactly. Now, he's not going to get any pushback here. They're not going to say anything at all because of the type of platform he's on. That's why he chose this platform. He chose this platform because this is a bunch of little kids who in over their head. That's how he looked like. They're not a real interview. I can't take these people serious. Nobody takes them serious. That's why he can do what he can do on that platform. Now, here's the reason why Stephen A. Smith is doing the things that he's doing. Can y'all hear me clearly? Is there any problem with the audio? Is there any problems with the audio? Yes, no, what? Okay, fine. All right, since there's no problem with the audio, let's commence. Here's what's the problem and what's going on with Stephen A. Smith and what's happening. Stephen A. Smith wanted to launch a nighttime talk show. The people he wanted to do and work with in the studio, LeBron James is uninterrupted. Their program that they're linked with, they're tied into a lot of different distributions. Anything to do with productions, they are saying they would terminate any relationships with anybody dealing with Stephen A. Smith. Renting the studio, he blocked the rentals, allegedly, blocked the rentals. So the rental spaces for Stephen A. Smith to conduct these shows in LA, he blocked those. He blocked BET from working with Stephen A. Smith. He's blocked, what was that? The actual, what was that? Some people that were supposed to work with him. They decided they could not work with Stephen A. Smith due to conflict of interest with Uninterrupted, Mav Carter, and Rich Paul. Them saying that Mav Carter and them were upset with LeBron. They're not going to be in business with someone that's over there with someone who's basically, attacking what they say, attacking LeBron's family, unwarranted attacks, personal attacks. And they just like, we don't see that as. Now on the hilt of that also, LeBron James did not want Stephen A. Smith covering any Laker games in Los Angeles. No Laker home games. Now, if the Knicks want to let him in there, that's fine. But he tried to get him removed from the Lakers, and he is, from what I know, he's banned. He can't, like, as far as he'll have to buy a ticket, but he's not to be back in there covering any games for the Los Angeles Lakers organization. As long as LeBron is on the team, he can't come there. Now, here's another thing. LeBron and his team allegedly are trying to push him out at ESPN for covering the NBA. They want him out. Let him discuss sports on his sports show, First Take. But as far as being part of the NBA showcase circle, no more. They want him out. They think he's satire and he does not help move the game forward. They want him out. So, all of this has been going on behind Stephen A. Smith's back. People have come to tell him, and he knows this the move. Everybody knows this already. Like, I've known it. He's now knowing it and seeing that Carcino is right. Yet again, Carcino is right. When I told y'all what was happening with Drake and his contract, what was going on, he was in a 360 deal. That's why he's over there with Republic. That's why he's on tour 88, doing 88,000 shows. Kendrick has a licensing deal. Completely different. Told you that. They didn't want to listen. Somebody was doing smart business. Somebody was doing big showcase business. And now Steak is looking like, hey, I'm not getting my money. Drake was looking at, he thought he was supposed to get a bigger percentage of what was happening on Steak. And we're going to get to the bottom of that too. That's a whole nother video. But let's keep it here. Now that Stephen A has figured out what LeBron has been doing, and it's slowed down what he was supposed to be working on. He's trying to get ESPN because he signed this deal with them to go ahead and get this restructuring done. So now his nighttime talk show is going to go into the political world. I told you that also. So everything I've said is now coming true, and you starting to see it. And all you got to say is, Carcino, you were right. LeBron plays his hand. He tries to do stuff behind the scenes, but you're too big to do it behind the scenes, because if these actions happen, they all know who it comes from. I mean, you can go watch the interview of what he said. It's really nothing. It's a nothing burger. It's watching Stephen A talk for about 2 hours straight. They add nothing to the show whatsoever. Nothing. So, again, that's when you know you have a bad show. When one person talks the entire damn show, nobody else says nothing. Yep, I said that when he signed his contract. Exactly. So everyone knows that there is a thing called mistakes. And when you make certain mistakes in life, they come back to bite you at certain points in time. They come back to get you. And with Stephen A. Smith, what he allowed himself to do is put himself in a position now where it's going to be costly. He's got to spend big money on that studio he got in that crew. All of those people have to get paid. See, he's got to pay this guy. He's got to pay the little person over there holding the camcorder. He's got to pay the assistant. He's got to pay the staff. All of these people are making substantial amount of money, 6 figures more. So all of that is millions of dollars going into a studio. Mostly you're not at. Because now, because of this $100 million contract, they're going to want you to do first take less time and be more on the move and more on location. You can't even recognize first take anymore. It looks like a whole nother show. As I told you, they were going to change the format from a real debate show to just making a show about every little thing they can, bringing in celebrities and stuff, just making it a variety show. And it's just like, I'm like, what? They're going to have contests on it? I tell you, what you going to have? What's his name? Mr. Beast on there? You bring him on the show. They're just bringing in a bunch of people to try to keep the show fresh. They put Kai Cenat on there. They're doing close-ups on people's expressions. I can't watch a show like that. I really can't. I'm just completely out on a show like that. Because that's not a show. That's a showcase. And I'm not there for showcase from a so-called sports show. I don't need Kai Cenat to talk about sports. No. Sorry. And this is when you lose the sports fans and you get in a whole new fans of satire. And these people are not going to listen to you. You think Kai Cenat fan base is going to listen to First Take? They're video gamers. They have no loyalty. Video gamers are the worst kind. like those who are like plugged in and gaming all night. These type of people are the worst kind. They have no connection to human beings, so they don't have any loyalty. They're only loyal to JDog 3789, like somebody online who they have no connection to except for that's my guy. That's my guy. We're gonna ride for him on this game. That's all they do 20 hours a day is stay glued into the computer. They don't get up. They don't go in real life. They Uber Eats from something that's across the street. ESPN is not going to get rid of Stephen A. Smith. You don't get rid of your workhorse. Okay, your workhorse that recruits other workhorses and vet them. That's his job. Brian Wilborn's job was to find another workhorse. That was his job. Wilborn, he was the Stephen A. Smith before Stephen A. Smith. Then he went in and said, all right, let me get close to Stephen A. And he got close to Stephen A. And you see what's happened since then. He found his lapdog and said, good, now I can just sit here and not be blamed for nothing. I've done my job. I found somebody to take my place as the lapdog. And then what did he do as the lapdog? He sat back, lapdogged it, and let everybody else fall in line. That's what he did. And when LeBron went on Pat McAfee's show, and he only went on the show to talk about Stephen A. Smith, we all know that was the reason he was there. He ain't no big Pat McAfee fan. Oh, Pat. Yeah, me and you, man. Man, I watch you all the time, bro. Man, you guys are the best. Bro, ain't never been on no Pat McAfee show. Didn't he just like, oh, Pat McAfee don't like him? Oh, he hate Pat McAfee. Okay, I need to be on that show. Yeah, I'm gonna show him. Yeah, we in here playing Indy tonight. Yeah, I got to get on that Pat McAfee show. And everybody was like, this is a sticky situation for you, Cito. This is a sticky situation. Which way do you go? Whose side are you on? LeBron or Stephen A. Slide? Which side would he go on? Everybody wanted to know, where would I stand in this situation? LeBron or Stephen A. Smith? Two of the worst. Is it the enemy of my enemy is my enemy? Or the enemy of my enemy is my friend? And you know what I said? Do you want to know what I said? I said, fuck them all. Because they have never, ever, both of them are the same person. Both of them. They are the same person. They don't deserve any respect. They are the worst of the worst. They don't deserve any mercy. They don't deserve it at all. LeBron has done so much dirt behind the scenes and in front of people's eyes, and they just ignored, lying, talking about, oh, he's the king, so he get to do what he wants. He's a crumb. That's all he is. He's been trashed, and that's exactly where he's going to stand. Stephen A. Smith acting like he's doing black folks a favor. You didn't stand up for Jalen Rose. You never stood up for anything real in your life. Sit your Kermit the Frog ass down. You ain't getting away with that. You sit in front of me and let me interview you. And let's see if you take over the room like you did there. I bet your Kermit the Frog ass jump up and ribbit your ass to the next lily pad. Now, I don't have to tell anybody about LeBron as a basketball player. He's trash to me as a basketball player. His game, his bag, non-existent. Non-existent. Now, what people gonna realize is that if he got a bag, it's a damn Louis purse bag with nothing in it. Now, if everybody else can see that, we all see that this guy here is one guy that's probably in his last year as he's leaving the league, and we probably won't have to see him again. But the reality is, he gonna want to stick around. But here's what I know that you don't know, LeBron. Well, you don't know that I know. Here it is, Stephen A. This is called real information. LeBron James might not get the Vegas team. You know why? Because I already got the word, mother sucker. You don't know. Because you don't do any background journalism. You pretend to be a journalist. You don't know anything. That's why you didn't know the Lakers was getting sold and Jenny Buss was selling the team. I knew and you didn't know. How is that? I was the only person that talked about it. Only person that knew. Everybody on my Patreon knew 2 months before it happened. Nobody knew nothing in the sports world. How did I know? Once I made that video public, 2 days later, they went public with the information. You make it make sense. I had that video in May on my Patreon. So let me tell you why LeBron James is really upset again. He's not going to probably get the Vegas team. And he was promised by Adam Silver he would. But they have other people that's coming in with AI tech that has about 55 billion in their. And they want to buy an NBA team. So everybody in there will be vetted. And they're going to put a governor in there to run the team. And LeBron James, you're not in that group because you small potatoes, boy. See, you're not a billionaire. You're a liar. Liar. See, LeBron is not a billionaire. Yeah, I know. It's shocking, isn't it? LeBron James has been pretending all this time to be a billionaire. Now, he has hundreds of millions of dollars. Don't get me wrong. He got bread, but he's not a billionaire. No. He's attached himself to corporations to inflate his net worth to the world, but he's not a billionaire. No, he's not. I would tell you right now, Stephen Curry has more than LeBron James, or just the same amount of money. But you'll never know it. You see, here's what you don't really know. You don't know how to read, and they keep running with the lie that he's a billionaire. No, and his NBA salaries combined since he came in the league has been over $1 billion in salary. That doesn't mean you're a billionaire. If he never spent a dime of the money, yeah, he would be a billionaire, but he's not. LeBron has had businesses that have lost millions, tens of millions. You just don't even know about it. Blaze Pizza was costing him a fortune. Y'all don't even understand how many businesses that have imploded that he has been signed to. He has not been breaking the bank with Nike, his shoes and everything. Nobody's walking around in LeBrons unless they got them for free. This is what I keep telling y'all, is that people can fake it till they make it. LeBron's success is contingent on him with this fake media propaganda. Once he retires, then you're going to see the real world doesn't really care about him. And that's what Warner Brothers found out when they put out House Party and Space Jam 2 and said, okay, we got to get rid of your ass. See, you call it hate, I'm calling it reality. Yeah, there you go. There you go. LeBron is not poor. He's poor into billionaires. He's poor to them. Those are the type of people that hire LeBron James to come to birthday parties. These are the guys that are talking about buying the NBA. They're already billionaires. This is why I knew what was happening with the Lakers. The Lakers can't compete with Ballmer because they're a family-owned business. Their shares are going to have to be dissolved. They're not built for this. The NBA is the mom and pop NBA is over. You know, Reinsdorf is like the only one left besides him and Dolan. And pretty soon they're going to be out. They want these tech billionaires, the guys who already have money. They made $1 billion somewhere else. But see, the Knicks and Bulls are not going to go anywhere because they got idiots that keep filling up the doggone stadium no matter what product they put on the floor and never win. They keep filling up the stadium. So no matter what, they're going to be like, hey, why would I sell? I'm still making money here. Same thing with Reinsdorf. He's making money off the Bulls' 6 championships. He's like, I don't have to win nothing. This is called reality, kid. And it's probably the first time you're hearing it. So when you hear reality, it's going to taste different. If somebody's been giving you something that was, you know, inside of the Matrix. It's like the Matrix movie when they start eating that food. He's like, what is this? He's like, yeah, it sucks, doesn't it? It's like, this is what you're getting fed when you thought you was eating steak when you were plugged into that Matrix. Now, I'm not condemning him for his financial state. I'm just letting you know in the financial state game, he's mad at Adam Silverslipper because Adam promised him all of this. You promised me I was going to get this team in Vegas when I retired. And it's not over yet. Like LeBron just has to find new investors on his team. His team is being outbidded. And it's not like they're going with the highest bidder. They might still take LeBron because he said, hey, well, we know these guys. We don't know you tech guys. It's not everybody with the highest money wins. But right now, it's in question when before it wasn't. Kevin Durant's team for the Seattle team is already, you know, the Supersonics coming back to Seattle and then the Vegas team. Those were the 2 teams. But now they're like, well, we got other cities. They said, hey, we want a team too. New Mexico won a team. And they kept a stadium full over there in New Mexico just to show the games. And LeBron is at the end of his run. So, you know, LeBron's at the end of the rope. What is left? They're not building a team around Bronny James. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to inform you, they're not building the team around Bronny James. You might think that's ideal for them to do. They're not building the team around Bronny James. It's just not happening. Mm-hmm. Now, here's the problem. I had 6 to 7 different people tell me that Stephen A. Smith attacked Bronny James. He really didn't. So on that notion, he really was telling the truth. And he was talking to you, LeBron. Don't hide behind Bronny. Don't be a punk and hide behind Bronny and gonna step up to Stephen A. Smith like this the last time I'm gonna warn you. Getting like you gonna huff and puff like you was gonna swing on Stephen A. Smith. Now you would have beat his ass, of course. And you would have lost, you'd have had some cool points in the hood, but to those sponsors and white supporters, that didn't look good. That didn't look good at all. So you had to make it look like he was the victim. Like you was being victimized and you was standing up for your son. He was defending his son. This guy was attacking him. No, he wasn't. So more lies and deception by LeBron James and his fake media connections. Now, LeBron James has never, ever been on any of these platforms except for road tripping. He went over there. He didn't sit down with his guys, with Stack and Matt, and Shannon Sharp is his biggest cheerleader. Draymond is signed to you. You haven't went on that show. You haven't done any damn thing like that. Oh, Shannon Sharp. Yeah, broad, yeah. Broad. You ain't been on this show. You ain't walked up there one time and stumbled your ass and stuttered your way on that damn show. Not once. Yeah. We ain't heard nothing from you, not a peep. Yeah. I know. He been crying about me all this time, talking about some I ain't got no bag. Because he was tired of this video. He was responding to this.
No, he's not. 100. Not even top 100. I cannot put him over anybody. You can name a whole 1990s rosters. He's Sean Kemp. That is exactly who LeBron is. He's Sean Kemp. And he never had a post game. He never even took time to learn that. So they removed the post guy out. There's no more power forwards. No more. Like, what happened to the power forwards? Well, LeBron don't have a post game, so we don't need him anymore. In LeBron's entire career, he's never guarded the best players on the court. Never. Not even early in his career. He would always guard the weakest player in the league. When they played in the finals against Dallas, he's guarding Jason Kidd, who's 40. I'm like, you just been getting by with your athleticism. They start to change the rules for you because you can't get by anybody anymore. All you do is offensive foul people now and take 5 steps to the basket. You can't play off the ball. That means you can't play basketball. Whatever the play is, he blows it up immediately. He gets the ball and runs out to the half court line, gets a running start, and comes back in. I'm like, why is he leaving the paint? Everything they taught you about basketball goes out the window when you playing him. Don't lower the shoulder. That's exactly what he gonna do. He gonna lower his shoulder. He be almost halfway over driving Steph Curry into the ground. He play a 4 out. That's the only play he runs on offense, a 4 out. Or he'll call a high pick and roll. Guy come over and get a pick so he can get a little point guard on him. Okay, that's good. I can get by him. And he's like, I'm the GOAT now. I think I'm up there with Jordan. I'm like, where? In what? Checkers, chess, video game, Madden, NBA 2K, what? Definitely not basketball.
Clip. Every year he gets eliminated out the playoffs or he has a bad game. The internet pumps that clip everywhere. And he hates it. Had my Twitter account banned Now, everybody can see what the real notion is and what was going on behind the scenes a lot. And people really just didn't know.
Keep LeBron James away from the GOAT conversation. You can never have lost your confidence on a basketball court and can be considered greatest of all time. This man has lost his confidence in NBA finals. To go to the finals as many times as he did with all the advantages he had, he has come up short. He called himself the greatest player of all time. On his own show, when you're great, that's for other people to say about you, not for you to say about yourself. You're trying to convince yourself you're the greatest of all time when you're not.
See? Facts. Facts. When you're not. You see that? When you're not. That was a key word there. Not. And we got to sit and endure this clown go on a podcast show because his ego can't take it. But everything you do, LeBron, is contingent on what you do on the basketball court. That's why the deal was done to get the Lakers into a winning situation and to get them in a winning situation right away. And the only way to get them in a winning situation right away was to get your ass out of the way. They had to bring in help. They brought in Luka Doncic. And now that Luka's here, this is going to change the whole narrative as they're going to build a team around him, and you're going to be getting pushed out the damn door. And you're going to have a choice. The front door or the back door. Which way your ass is going out? Your service are no longer needed in the community, LeBron. And all these other podcast shows that kiss your ass, they all running and jumping on board, dressing up in baby suits and clowns. All of this stuff that they've been doing, they can't save you, bro. They can't save you. You see, the more they talk, the more they try to change the narratives, the more things stay the same. You're not going to be able to wiggle your way out of this. I would never dress up like in a baby, a human-sized baby. They have to dress you up as a baby for you to get a deal. That's tragic, man. That's some sad work, brother. I feel bad for him. This is what he's got to demean himself to get a deal. He got to dress up as a baby. A grown-ass man, they make dress up like a baby. And you wonder why Kwame didn't want to work with you. They made you dress up like a baby, dog. Who gonna honor that? I'm serious. Who's going to honor that? You going to honor that? They made you dress like a baby. And that wasn't even the worst part. They dressed you up as a clown. It's Gildo, it's Gildo. Don't let me around the kids. It's Gildo, it's Gildo. You know what I've already did. Gildo the clown. Mm, mm, mm. That's a damn shame. Is this what you got to do to get your payday? That's a shame. This is why credibility and respect is not something that is abundant when you hear Gilbert's name. It's hard to respect something like that. Do you think Stephen A. Smith would put on a clown suit? No, it would have to be added on to him. He's not going to voluntarily doing that. That's what we talk about all the time. And people need to understand what we're talking about. I mean, look at that. That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. Unless you're doing a kid's birthday party for your kid, I can understand. Or a show, that's ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous. I just don't understand why another human being would dress up like that and be wanting to be somebody that's that we could take seriously. I can't take a person like that seriously. Now, when we come on the Patreon, we're helping find people jobs today. So if you're on the Patreon, you already know what time it is. Mm-hmm. Man, Sean, I'm telling you, they cooking themselves. You know, it's all about, they keep bragging about the money. Like, yeah, I'm getting this money though. But you got to dress up like a baby and a clown and put on a clown suit. That mean, well, we already know he put on a dress when he put on them high heels and stuff when he was in that cop uniform. But if that's what I'm saying is that's what you teaching black men to be like? That's what you want black men to become. You think you're going to get Kwame Brown to sit over there and put on a dress and dress in a clown uniform? Only to dress up, you know what I'm saying? If you got a little daughter or son, you dressing up for a party. That's the only time I would see something in there. Um, Dressing up like Homie the Clown. No, that wasn't looking like Homie the Clown. That was just looking like your homie was the clown. Now, I'm just saying that's just not ideal for a black man to be looked at in a clown outfit and to be put in that kind of light. It's very disappointing for a black man to be seen in that light. Now, y'all ready for some LeBron news? Y'all ready for some other smoke? See, Brian, we know everything, buddy. We know everything that's going on. We know everything that's going on. See, here's the thing, Brian, that you don't know, that we do know, is that DeAndre Ayton, he definitely is a fan of you. He's a huge fan of LeBron James. Right? Huge fan. But we also know he has problems. And his problem is he loves the women. And as many of you know who's been on my Patreon, I told y'all last year what the situation was about. I showed y'all what was to come. LeBron knows, and this is why he doesn't really want to be associated with DeAndre Ayton. Because he doesn't know if DeAndre Ayton is going to still be on the team. He knows about his outside extracurriculars. Yeah. Told you. Cino knows it all, baby. It's on the Patreon. Who? DeAndre Ayton know these women quite well, don't you? Don't you, DeAndre? You know who they are and what they do. Yeah, let's. Yeah, this her now with the more Botox, more everything. Ooh, buddy. That's her childhood friend she grew up with. She looks nothing like herself now. Oh, God. But Cino actually know this girl. Because I know what club she used to work at before she started sleeping with professional athletes for money. And her girl, they go out and they get with professional athletes. So I know all the dirt. I know all the dirt. Cino knows these chicks. So this is what I'm trying to tell y'all. So this thing that him leaving the chick somewhere, I told you, that ain't news to me. That's news to y'all. Y'all gonna learn about DeAndre Ayton now that he's a Laker. Hopefully he switch up, but there's a lot of NBA players involved in this situation. And there's a long list, bro. It's a long list. And I'm not trying to be one to mess up everybody's day. Talking about gossip, but let's just say Casino knows a thing or two. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. I'm telling you, it's a situation where people don't understand what it is that they're doing. You cannot continuously build a team around a 40-something-year-old man. What the hell are you talking about? What are you talking about? LeBron is a fossil. And you're talking about, yeah, LeBron still that guy. Like, what the hell are you talking about? You still holding on to that? Seriously, you holding on to that? That's crazy work. This is what was going on with the Lakers. This is years ago. Rob has interest in Vuacek from the Bulls. The Bulls wanted too much for him, and when the Lakers thought they had a trade with Zach LaVine, the Bulls pulled the plug at the last minute. Kobe White, Zach LaVine for Horton Tucker, Russell Westbrook, Sekou, and DeAndre Jordan, all who are not on the team today. All who are not on the team today. And I told them, I said, the Lakers have a vacant president position if they don't intend to fill until LeBron James is gone. Whoa, what did I say? The Lakers have a vacant president position that they don't intend to fill until LeBron James is gone. LeBron had a secret yelling match with assistant Quentin Crawford, which turned into a full argument with Phil Handy, who took up for Crawford, who remained quiet out of fear. They're all gone off the Lakers. So I guess I was right again, right? LeBron James sent Christmas cards to everyone except Jenny Buss last year. He blamed his assistant and said it was an oversight. Jeannie and LeBron hate each other. LeBron hired a private investigator from another country to investigate and find out dirt on Jenny Buss. Jeannie is at LeBron's mercy because they do not have any other superstars on the team. They had DeMar DeRozan and they ended up with Russ and losing $8 million in revenue. Holla at your boy. Holla at your boy. Nobody knew anything about that. Except for the one that you're talking to right now. And did you see what happened? Phil Handy was out. Crawford was out. Quentin Crawford gone. They all gone. That was 2 years ago. This when Russ was on the team. And you still not trusting me? When I tell you the LeBron James era is over, I told y'all 3 years ago the Lakers was trying to steal Luka Doncic. Did you forget that too? Pretty soon you're gonna have to figure it all out. That the boy just know what he's doing. So today, about an hour ago, we put it out for everybody that's on the Patreon. Right? Okay, I got to share it. I didn't put it on there to share. Sorry. Can y'all see it? Okay, there it is. All right. Now, here, you leave your town into occupation, and then we're going to find a job in your area that fits the occupation in the distance, you know, and where you are. So we did this before. It was a success. So voice acting or sound engineering. Okay, we're going to get that. So far, it's been up an hour. We got to let everybody get to see it. That's signed up so far. It's probably very little. Yeah, only 51 people saw it so far. So we'll just let it sit there and let it go around and build itself up. What's on the Patreon today? That was sloppy. Beyonce is on Kanye West's head. That's something new. You saw that already. Charlie Murphy Bodyguard Stories, episode 8. It's a classic. And I started telling you the hottest job out right now. If you're looking for a job, this is the hottest job to get right now, and it's in need. So we talked about that, and that led to what we're doing today. And let me see. Yeah, Eddie Murphy won, 50 Cent, Jerry Jones being a hypocrite. Swiss beat caught with Lala Anthony again. And that was a very interesting video. Why blacks aren't in baseball as much. Mistakes in business can cost you dearly. What really happened to Malcolm Jamal Warner. And, you know, the list goes on and on. So I want to say thank you guys for your time. Don't forget to like this video because this video was outstanding, and we'll be back later to give you more. Peace.